There we go. Hi, people! Surprise! We're back!
Impromptu.
Which means we were supposed to go, last week? And then we all fell asleep.
Like 2 weeks ago or
Pretty much,
something.
yeah.
Whatever, we all fell asleep. And no one reminded Shelby, so Shelby went to bed at 7:30.
Yeah.
It's hard, man. And when baseball and softball play too many games, it's hard to do a show and recap it. Like football, it's every week,
Yeah.
But here we are. We have the Women's College World Series and Super Regional, so we just had to wait till it got interesting.
Right.
I mean, if you're an Aggie, it's been interesting all year, but
I mean, we beat the Aggies, so it doesn't really work on me.
I'm not saying it was because we won. I'm saying it was interesting because it's been going like this.
Well, I thought you were talking about baseball because your baseball team was like number one for what, like 80% of the year.
We were number one
No.
for 3 weeks. 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, clearly, when Florida started losing their first of 6 or 7 SEC series in a row, I kind of stopped paying attention because I just every weekend it was just like, what the is going on? Like, how is this happening?
Because you're not good.
The Fraudigators made it further than Arkansas.
Yeah, what does that tell you, Sydney? When I saw Arky get bounced and us advance, I was like, oh, I have to go. We have to record this week. Sydney called us out as frauds, and now they're back in Fayetteville, and we're still dancing.
Stay-at-home hogs?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. Big yikes.
I had a bunch of Aggies like my tweet because, whenever A&M and Arkansas played, Ryan Prager was named Pitcher of the Week, and Arkansas fans were all up in arms that it wasn't Hagen Smith, and I'm like, well, he lost, so.
He did not get charged with the loss, though.
Well, no, but he wasn't he didn't.
Correct.
Team didn't win, was the point. And so whenever they gave up like 6 runs in his start, I was like, y'all think they're still mad? People were like, yeah.
Man, poor Hagen.
So does Arkansas doesn't have any titles in baseball? Do you have any in softball?
No, Arkansas hasn't been to Oklahoma City yet in softball.
What about A&M?
We went in 2017 to Oklahoma City. Should have gone this year. Shouldn't have been the 16th seed. It's fine. I'm not bitter at all.
Okay, so now I understand that. I'm the representative of what it actually is like to win a title in these. Okay, I understand now. I thought that we were all equals here, but then I remember there's only one #everything school.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay. Look, all I know is that Texas gave up 19 runs to A&M in the Super Regional weekend and has given up 2 since. So,
man,
Texas just lives rent free up here, doesn't they?
No, I'm just mad that the NCAA feels the need to match us up in every sport ever possible.
Yeah, we got pretty lucky, honestly, to get out of FSU's regional. As much as I hate them, they did whoop our ass pretty much every game this year. So when they announced us as a 3 in Stillwater, I was like, okay. That's much better than they were initially projecting us to be like a 3 in Tallahassee, and it was like,
No thanks.
No thanks, yeah.
I love some Texas player basically said that A&M is expected to sweep through the regional, and they aren't going to let that happen. And I'm like, well,
really?
You didn't let it happen? Honey, you were the fuck up. Like he's the one that allowed the tying run to score.
Oh man.
So I was like, oh honey. No.
I know you're probably not gonna like this, probably either one of you, but I'm definitely gonna be rooting for Texas in the finals over Oklahoma.
I'm not gonna be rooting for either, and I probably won't watch.
That's fair.
Maybe if they go to game 3, I'll watch that one.
Man, every time Oklahoma would get a walk, I mean, they would bat flip, and you would think that they just hit a grand slam, and it's she just slowly jogs to first base, and it's like,
they're so intolerable, which sucks because like their athletes are so good.
Yep.
But it's like,
but the
4
thing is,
championships in a row is so just,
it's crazy.
People don't want to watch that.
What the thing is, though, is that they get mad if other people do the things that they do to them. Like when A&M played in their regional, 2-3 years ago now, Haley Lee jumped on home plate after hitting a home run, and they were up in arms. And then she became a Sooner. She transferred to OU in her graduate year. And they were like, "Oh, we love Haley." And I'm like, no. Like, what?
Well, like, they have the girl who pitched today, Kelly Maxwell. She transferred from Oklahoma State. And obviously, like, big no-no. And people are like, we don't feel bad for Kelly Lynch because there's like this narrative that like she's gone through so much this year and like so many expectations and all this hate and stuff and this narrative that like she's a big underdog. And it's like,
oh, you mean like the narrative that the Celtics are the underdog?
Yeah, like that.
It's like when Georgia won the title and in the post-game presser, they're like, the players like people were saying we're going 6-6, and it's like,
no one said
bro,
this.
what? Y'all were number 1 the entire year. Nobody ever said that. What are you drinking?
Who told you that? I'm so tired, guys. It's not even funny.
When you said you had a field trip today, okay, my kid's been out for like 2 weeks now.
I know, that confused me so much.
I was so confused. I was like, why is she working? When you said like you were working, I was like, man, I know teachers, don't work during the summer and stuff, but did she pick up another job for the summer? And then you said field trip, and I'm like, oh wait, is it a different school?
Yeah, I'm working at summer camp.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I thought you were saying that you hadn't gotten out for summer break yet, and I remember you talking about your room, and I was just, my brain was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, I was confused.
What's happening?
But I was just riding the wave.
We took almost all my stuff to a storage unit because they're redoing the school pretty much. And now I have 4 boxes that are sitting in my car because I'm too lazy to take them to the storage unit. And Mom's like, what happens if someone breaks into your car so they can have the Play-Doh? I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I will replace the Play-Doh. It'll be fine.
Ethan, I put on this blue shirt during the game, hoping it would bring some luck, and it didn't.
Thanks for your effort. Hopefully you wore it the whole time and you didn't put it on in like the 6th inning, because then I'll have to politely ask you never wear that shirt again.
I had it on most of the game.
Okay, then that's allowed.
Burn it.
My wife bought me like a Florida shirt with like my high school number and my name on the back and stuff for my birthday last year, which just so happened to be the same day as the Arkansas game. So I wore this shirt and my black Florida polo that I bought for the game. And obviously the game was awful. And so I was like, fuck, these are supposed to be my lucky shirts. And now I just witnessed this awful turn of events here. And now I can't wear them for the rest of the year. So like I didn't wear, so she bought me a Florida shirt for Father's Day, and I wore it for the Utah game. And I was like, well, can't wear this shirt anymore. So I didn't wear it. Then for my birthday in November, she bought me a shirt. I bought myself a shirt and wore them both. One is like an undershirt and then a polo on top, and then lost. And I was like, well, fuck, I can't wear these shirts either. So, however, I baked good luck into the personalized shirt. That's going to be my shirt this year because I wore it during the Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, the Oklahoma State baseball game and the Oklahoma softball game where we won both. I was like, okay, this is my lucky shirt. Now we baked in the good luck. It's locked in now. Put it in the closet until November or until August. Yeah.
He's going to wear it against A&M.
Well, if we beat Miami, I'll wear it every game. But if we lose week 1 or if we lose before A&M, no. Once you lose, the luck is gone.
Then, well, you have a chance to flip-flop with the 2 shirts. because only one of them might be bad.
That's true. And yeah, I have tried that strategy before. And, this past season, we had a 5-game losing streak. So it was like every time I tried something new, it just clearly didn't matter. And then, really the Arkansas, the Missouri, and the FSU game were all pretty brutal ways to lose a game. So yeah, whatever shirts I had, I've considered starting new, but I can't. It means too much. I have to give it a chance, and I did during softball and baseball. We're good to go now.
Here we go.
I usually end up changing where I sit. Like in 2020, when we beat Florida, I was sitting on the floor in the kitchen because I was doing a FaceTime call with a friend, and I hung up and we had scored the touchdown to like tie it or whatever. And I was like, I can't move now.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm big on that.
Sit on the couch, and I said, no, we are winning, and I am comfortable where I am. Kind of.
In the NCAA tournament when we were playing Colorado, I was like, I get real like frantic energy when I'm like watching an important game or whatever. And so like I'll be like cleaning my house and like watching the game from behind the couch like this. And so like I was cooking and like doing all this stuff and I'm like watching the game, and then they kind of start to pull away. And then at the very end of the game, Walter Clayton scores like 16 straight points and hits a game tying 3 with like 8 seconds left. And I just lose my mind, right? But for like 15 minutes, my wife is like, Ethan, sit down. Like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, I can't. Like, he just scored all these points in a row. Like, I can't sit down now. I got to stay behind the couch. Like, I gotta stay right in the spot. Make sure. As soon as that 3 went in, I was like, oh, it's a wrap. And then, they ended up hitting a game-winning shot. So, tough year, man. Tough year to be a Florida fan.
The softball game, the game 2 of that super regional, when we hit the home run to tie it and then went into extras, it really felt like Anderson Garcia hitting the 3-pointer against Houston to tie it and then us losing. I'm like, this like roller coaster. We're doing it. I was like, oh, this is so sad. But that is a moment that our freshman that hit that home run will remember for the rest of her life. So it's fine.
That was such a good series.
Speaking of freshmen hitting home runs, Ashton Wilson. So all year long, Florida has really had like 1 through 4 producing decently. And then the rest of our lineup has just been awful. So that's why teams will give like 2 or 3 intentional walks to Cags, because it's like, you guys have like 2.5 people who might do damage.
That was so annoying.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
I was screaming because I wanted to see him hit.
I think it was Georgia, or it was Kentucky. So Cags had a 30-game hitting streak, and in I want to say it was the second or third game of the Kentucky series, they intentionally walked him down like 8 runs or something in like the 9th inning, and he went 0 for 1 for the game because he had 3 walks, and they intentionally walked him down like 7 or 8 runs in the 9th just so he couldn't even have a chance to extend his streak. And it was like, what a prick move. Like, just pitch to him. Like,
that's petty.
Yeah. He, God, thing of beauty, Jack Caglione. Can hit that ball a country mile.
He might have ripped one that day of the doubleheader, but I can't remember. But every time he'd come up, I would be like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And then there he goes, walking down the baseline.
If you talk to John, who used to be on this podcast, about Will Frizzell and the Ole Miss series like 4 years ago, it's the same thing. That he's like, we hit a walk-off grand slam. And he's like, I could have told anybody that was going to happen. Like, the kid had 4 home runs in the series already. And they're like, he's like, I could have told you. Like, y'all could have just walked him. Like, well, here we are. Sorry.
We walked SEMO. I think it was SEMO. Oh, God, that makes me want to throw up. We walked their like 9-hole hitter like 4 or 5 times in that game. Not on purpose.
Yeah.
Not on purpose.
That's been a big problem for us too. Like, one thing that we've minimized in the regional that we did not do a good job of controlling all year long was like rebound runs, to where we might get a 2 or 3 run inning and then you trot your pitcher back out and it's 3-1 or 3-0 or whatever, and then they walk or hit a batter, and next thing you know it's a 2-run home run and now it's 3-2, and you're in. I think we gave up 91 rebound runs on the season. And so it was like every time we would get just the tiniest bit of momentum and like feeling good, and maybe we got it turned a corner, you just immediately implode. And then it's like, somebody drops like a crooked number on you and you're like, well, we were up 4 runs and now we're down 3 in 1 inning because our pitchers, I think our team ERA is like 6.9.
All I know is that I've never been happier than Nate Yeske left for LSU. Never been happier. And now they're all like, we want to get rid of him. And I'm like, yeah, we could have told you that.
Yeah. LSU's pitching.
Like, we all could have told you that. But Braden Montgomery has turned another corner, so we're going to take that. We're going to take that as it will. Because I need him to hit well for the Super Regional. That's all I need in my life.
Where is Florida going?
Florida's going to Clemson.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, in my typically uninformed opinion, I have seen exactly 0 Clemson baseball games this year. And because of that, I will say Florida wins 2-0.
Okay.
If I'm going to be uninformed and ignorant, I might as well also be biased.
He's not even going to give Clemson the benefit of the doubt for the fact that they're the 6th seed. He's like, no.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, didn't their best player transfer to to Tennessee or something last year? Maybe not. Maybe I'm making that up. Maybe it was a different team. I thought they lost like their best players. I was pretty surprised to see them do as well as they did, but maybe I'm mistaking them for somebody else. So, again, uninformed and ignorant. That's the way to go through life. Have very strong opinions and never know what you're talking about.
Have nothing to back it up.
Yes, exactly. Just say it confidently.
See, South Carolina just fired their coach, and now apparently they have to work really hard to hang on to some players.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, it's supposedly, what's his name? Petrus?
Yeah, however you say it.
Supposedly, Florida's in an okay spot for him out the gate, so we'll see.
We were making a joke, my mom and I, about Georgia's home run hitter. So we were like, you're a great player on an okay team. You could transfer somewhere else and be a great player on a great team.
True.
But that was whenever they put up 9 runs on us in the first inning, and then we proceeded to run rule them in the same game.
Yeah, I remember when that happened.
We were taking senior pictures of my sister on campus, and we could hear 203, like probably 4 or 5 buildings away, taking pictures. And I was like, "Is that the baseball stadium?" And I looked at my phone and I was like, "Yep, sure is."
Poor Wes Johnson.
I was like, "Oh no, guys, do good." Let's see. Let's go through these super regionals. Tennessee and Evansville. Please let Evansville do something.
America's team. Evansville.
America's team. Against not America's team.
Against America's villains.
Just not America's team. I'm
Tony Vitello is gonna like assault a player or something and get ejected, and then Tennessee Twitter will tell us all that it's actually just a big conspiracy against them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, of course it is.
I'm surprised Evansville made it this far. Tennessee's gonna steamroll those guys.
Yeah, they are.
What is the stats on number 1 seeds not making it to Omaha? That's what I need to know.
Honestly, probably pretty high.
I would say, I think I would expect it to be like 50 to 67% of them. Maybe not Omaha. I didn't mean that. I meant like advance to the next round.
Yeah,
But it'd probably be like 50-50 because I mean the top 8, even if they all advance, then they would get to play the bottom 8, and then the bottom 8 would get eliminated before getting to Omaha. So I'd say half of them.
Okay.
The math checks out if you think about it.
I would like to know the real answer to that.
The math is mathing. That's one of my kids told me once, Miss Warren, my brain's not braining. I was like, same, bro. Like, I felt that in my soul. I'm sorry your brain's not braining. I don't know what to tell you. So we got
all right. So according to NCAA.com, as of 2023, 1 seeds advance to the College World Series 73.4% of the time. 2 seeds 16.7.
Oh,
3 seeds 8.3, and then 4 seeds 1.6. So
this is like in regional.
No, this is advancing. Yeah, this is their seed in the regional. And
I was thinking like number 1 overall seeds.
Oh.
Like how often does the number 1 overall seed not actually make it to Omaha?
I mean, I'd imagine it's probably even higher than 73%. It's probably closer to 90 or 95%. Because I mean, just looking at this list here, only 3 times has the field had fewer than 4 or fewer 1 seed. So, half of them were not 1 seeds. So I would assume the number 1
seed was not there.
Yeah.
In what year?
Tennessee, the number 1 seed, like 2 years ago, and didn't make it out of their regional.
Mm-hmm.
It was Tennessee, and then it was Arkansas the next year. It was the number 1 seed curse.
That's why A&M was so glad to not be that.
Yeah.
Like, y'all can have that. It's fine.
Yeah.
Super fine. Let's see. Florida State and UConn.
Go Huskies.
How did I know?
UConn is crazy. Like, UConn being in the Supers is crazy.
I don't want to say I didn't realize UConn had a baseball team. I didn't realize UConn had a decent baseball team. That is what I will say.
They were the Big East champions.
I saw this thing, and it was like a bodybuilder, and it was like UConn athletic department, and it was like, men's basketball, women's basketball, baseball, and then the legs were like this big around, and it was like football.
Vandy. Except they're all small.
No, Vandy's bad at pretty much every sport. At least UConn's like really fucking good at basketball.
Poor Vandy.
I hope UConn wins.
Nice.
I'm rooting for, except for A&M, honestly. I always root for the lower seed if A&M's not in it. Just because it's more fun that way.
I just feel like Florida State can't get it done.
I agree with that.
Never have.
Same. Fuck them.
Sorry, rest in peace, Mike Martin. But never have.
I mean, it's just like FSU fans bragging about finishing in the top 5 like 15 years in a row. It's like, yeah, that's a cool stat and everything, but you won 1 title. Like, it's like the Braves winning the NL East 15 years in a row and winning 1 World Series in that span. It's like, cool. It's impressive. It's nice. You didn't fucking win 15 titles in a row. Like, that's incredible. That's worth making a banner over,
That's why, like, Mariners fans are like, we're in the lead for the division. I'm like, the Astros won the division last year, and how did that work out for them?
Yeah.
Like, I saw this thing. It was talking about before last year, FSU's streak was like 45, 48 straight years making the postseason. And once that ended, now LSU at 17 and then Florida at 16 have the 2 longest streaks. So it's like, that is a long ass time to make it to the playoffs. Yeah. It's like over double, But
A&M had that in soccer, that since Coach G started the program, we had like 26 straight years in the postseason or something. And I was like, y'all, this is crazy. And then we ended it like 3-4 years ago, and it was so sad.
Yeah.
It was so sad. Okay, so whoever made this NCAA like schedule did not update it correctly because it says Charlottesville Regional, Virginia, Kansas State, and then Chapel Hill Regional, Super Regional, North Carolina, West Virginia, Game 1, and then Game 2 and Game 3 both say Virginia versus Kansas State.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh, so the Chapel Hill Super Regional is only one game involving.
Right. They're going to be traveling.
At least they're close.
Like, guys, you done messed up here. Fix it. Let's see, Virginia and Kansas State. I don't know anything about either of these teams, so there's that.
Virginia.
I'll go Virginia.
And then I picked North Carolina because they took out LSU and they make me happy. That makes me happy.
Who are they playing?
West Virginia.
Oh, yeah, North Carolina, easy.
I'm going West Virginia. Give me the upset.
Kentucky and Oregon State.
That's going to be a really good one, I think.
Oh, and another one that says Game 3, Virginia versus Kansas State. Virginia and Kansas State are playing in a lot of super regionals, guys.
I'm going to go Kentucky just for SEC reasons.
For SEC reasons.
I'm going Oregon State for
I knew that was going to be grand.
haterade reasons.
Yeah.
The story about intentionally walking Jack definitely tipped my hand there when it came to my prediction.
That's not his prediction. That is his desire. It's different.
It's both. I along with my uninformed nature, I'm also, omniscient. So even though I joke about how little I know, I actually know it all.
He knows all.
I can see in the future. I make a killing in gambling.
Good to know.
I'm just kidding. I don't gamble. I'm too emotional to gamble because I will always bet on my own team to win. I will always bet on my own players on the over. And then I'm like, fuck. Like if I have a guy on my fantasy football team, I'm like, I'm going to will this into existence by doing a $5, 7-leg parlay where everybody on my fantasy team scores 2 touchdowns. And if it doesn't work, I'm kind of disappointed. If it does work, like that's fucking awesome. Like but it's never worked. So I eventually just gave up.
No,
That's why I never understand when these people get caught for gambling, like the baseball player for the Padres or Pirates or something.
Yeah,
just got caught.
One of the two, yeah.
Lost like 95% of the time.
I was gonna say, what was it? He won like 10 of them out of like 280.
It was crazy.
A lifetime ban, and you're like,
Jonte,
is it worth it?
Like Jonte Porter won like $220,000 from gambling, and he made like $2.8 million in the NBA. And it's like, really? Like, you're going to risk even a minimum salary is incredible money. And you're going to gamble. Like, you don't even guarantee. It's not even a Ponzi scheme where you're like, being guaranteed to make a lot of money. Anyways, just like Alabama baseball, don't bet.
Oh, my God. And then there's that LSU player, former LSU player, current New England Patriot. I don't know if he's still on the team, though.
Oh, Keyshawn Boutte or
Keyshawn Boutte, yeah.
Yeah, whose username was
Keyshawn
7, yeah. Very subtle there, buddy. Like, Calvin Ridley logging in from the training facility and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, great look, guys.
No one will suspect a thing. I went gambling in Oklahoma, like at the casino. And I had literally made almost $200, and I just kept pressing the button because I was like, "This is fun."
It'll get you every time.
They always break even.
Stop, hun. I'm like, but I don't want to. It's fun.
Yeah, I learned blackjack recently, and it was not fun for my bank account.
0 out of 10 would not recommend.
So when you say learn, do you mean like the rules and concepts, or like
I played at a casino for the first time?
Okay.
And I was on fire, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, this is great." And then
I can see the cards. I know what's in there. Like, bet this right amount. I'm gonna double down. I'm gonna split.
up, crash.
Nothing.
Oh,
Nothing.
Good Lord.
Gambling is bad.
Guys, gambling is bad. Don't do
Yep.
it.
My wife and I are going to Biloxi for our anniversary, and we're staying at a Hard Rock casino.
So
And
not Texas. Got it.
yeah, she's worried that. So I'm like, hey, it's a casino. They have bars, and we can just a resort. But I'm also going to gamble. And then she's just convinced that like I'm just going to become a compulsive gambler. And like I pulled up my Hard Rock Bets app because like in Florida the Seminole tribe owns the Hard Rock in like South Florida, and they put out an app to where you could bet before it was like made legal federally or whatever. And because the servers were hosted on their territory, they were allowed to host gambling. And immediately it was like taken to court and all this stuff. But eventually they shut it down. But I put $25 on there when it first came out. And like I pulled it out my phone. And I showed my wife. I was like, I have $31 on here still because I made $6 by like betting like $1 shit. And like I'm never gonna be comfortable spending a bunch of money gambling because I just know I'm gonna lose it all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the only reason we went is because we got $50 in free play, like as a like bonus or whatever, and I was like, so I'll spend somebody else's money.
That's how they get you.
And I sure didn't use a single penny of my money. I made $78 off of the $50, and I was like, I'm gonna take that.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
I was like, I'm gonna walk away because I have $20 in my pockets, and now
There
I have
you go.
state. Look at that. Teacher money is nothing. Nothing, guys.
People with self-control. I respect.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh goodness. All right.
Not
So
me.
Georgia and NC State.
Georgia is still alive?
Yes.
I gotta go Georgia and Wes Johnson. My guy.
I'm gonna go NC State.
Me too.
NC State's probably gonna win, more than likely.
And it's gonna be funny.
So okay, is Charlie Condon the clear-cut Golden Spikes Award winner, or do you feel like Jack actually has an argument in case to win it?
I don't know.
I'm biased. I know I'm biased, and but I feel like their offense, like Condon's season, is like incredible. Like if he won it, I wouldn't think that it would be unfair or that it would be undeserved. I just feel like their offensive numbers are pretty close, but Jack is still a pretty solid pitcher. Like, is he an MLB quality pitcher? Probably not. Is he still a pretty damn good college baseball pitcher? Yeah. And on top of that, he's probably the second best hitter in the country. So it's like, I feel like, Paul Skeens did that at Air Force before he kind of came to LSU and then just only pitched. And so it's like, yeah, he's probably not the pitcher Skeens is, but he's, back-to-back 30 home run seasons. So I don't know. I see it debated, and I see people. It definitely seems like Condon is going to be the guy that wins it, but I'm hoping Jack can sway the hearts of America.
I think Jack could take it.
I could see both sides.
Mm-hmm. Both really, really good.
I also just realized that Braden Montgomery is kind of the opposite of Paul Skeens, so where he pitched mostly at Stanford and then came here and just bats, while Paul did the opposite.
Oh, yeah,
and I never realized that. That just made me excited. Okay. Anyways, I love Braden a lot. Okay. Not as much as I love Hayden Schott. That man is adorable. And the fact that he makes old Ags so angry because he likes to make fun of his own teammates on Twitter and they think he's being serious.
Oh.
And they'll post his tweets on the Aggie Athletics pages like the discussion pages, and they go, "Why is he making fun of Jace? Jace is a great athlete." And I'm like, guys, it's a joke.
Like, they're
Please,
teammates. What do you think?
God. Like, please, dear God, stop. Like, Jace is one of his best friends. Like, leave him alone. Like, should I tell him that he shouldn't do this? No. You shouldn't. Shut up. See, Clemson in Florida. I wonder who Ethan's gonna pick.
Kevin O'Sullivan destroys the hearts of his former team and his mentor.
I really don't like him.
Yeah, he's pretty unlikable, really. If he wasn't my baseball coach, I would probably not like him either. I mean, especially if you ever read or hear the story of like,
Oh yeah,
his current wife, how their marriage came to be. Just Google Kevin O'Sullivan wife, and it's definitely an interesting read. It's not really his fault. It kind of, it's kind of like a D-bag. It's not good, but yeah.
He screams roid rage.
Yeah, he's very red, like just at all times. Like his traps do not look natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm 110. If he were not my coach, he would probably be my least favorite coach in America. But since he is my coach, Florida 2-0.
Okay. I feel like this is how, maybe not Sydney, but a lot of what I've seen on Twitter in America feel about Luka Doncic. If he's mine, so I love him. But everybody else I've seen hates Luka.
I feel like we just live in a society fueled by haters.
That's true too.
I know basically every prediction I've made tonight has been mostly inspired by which team I like the least. So I'm part of the problem. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. But I feel like people just live to shit talk. Like it really is just, you can't talk about sports anywhere anymore without it just turning into a shit show immediately. Like there within 5 comments, there's going to be somebody who's just going to say some outlandish stuff, and then it's like this isn't even based in reality. Like this is refuted by one Google and sports. It's just that's why I love this podcast, right? Because you guys aren't mean to me with my bad sports takes.
Well, no, did you?
Kevin O'Sullivan read was crazy that I just had.
What?
Wait, did we just get a live reaction of Sydney reading the story?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh God.
I'm glad we have this.
I knew about this, but I didn't Google it and really read about it. I had seen tweets, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But you see how it's not Kevin O'Sullivan's fault, but also it's like being involved in that at all is just sort of like, ooh. Yes, yeah.
No, friend.
That's a tough thing to live with.
Yeah. And that was part of the talk, going into last year. Really, since all of a lot of that stuff transpired, Florida hadn't really been very good, or at least not as good as we were. And O'Sullivan, it was kind of every season, like, is he going to leave? Is he not going to leave? Whatever. And then last year when we made the run to the finals, then it's like, oh, he's locked back in. We got Wyatt Langford and all these players and all this stuff. But now we've had another average season and people are like, fire Kevin O'Sullivan again. And so, but last year it was sort of like a redemption arc kind of story. And that's why I even, kind of read about it and came across it and dug into it. But when you take a step back, you're just like, man, Kevin O'Sullivan. Yeah.
Thanks for Wyatt Langford, by the way.
Yeah. You're welcome. Take care of him.
He's already been broken once.
Yeah. He was in the minors for 6 months?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh boy. It's from Trenton. Trenton is like a 1,000 person town right outside of Gainesville. And we call him the Trenton Thunder.
I love him. He's adorable. And I just want to keep him forever. kind of how I feel about a lot of the players on the Stars. Which I'm not okay because Joe Pavelski is retiring, and I'm not okay. Okay.
Speaking of which, I like Luka. I think Luka's pretty cool.
I do
Like
too.
I feel like he gets a bad rap because on defense he doesn't really do a whole lot. But I don't really. It's whatever.
Did you
Like
see him in Game 5 and all the shit he talked?
Yeah. He gave Rudy Gobert the business.
Who
But
the fuck is crying now? Thanks. All right, Luca.
I like it. I'm here for it. Talk
I'm
your shit.
all in for it. But
If
I
you're
have
dropping 40,
Oda.
shit. Like
I have a friend
Obi did it, MJ did it. Like everybody talks shit. Yeah. I do want to see him like posterize somebody though. Like I need to see Luca like actually like
jump.
Yeah, like I need to see him actually do something like that. Like, he's cool and all, but he's also like kind of boring to watch sometimes. But we're not talking about basketball. We're talking about baseball.
I'm really excited. The finals start on Thursday, okay? And 2 of us have teams in the finals.
Wait, Sydney's a Celtics fan?
I am.
There you go.
Why?
We had this discussion in our chat, and you just completely skipped it.
He ignores us.
He really
No, okay. I had no. Okay, you tell me why. Explain it to me, and then I have a story to tell.
I'm a overall Boston sports fan.
Are you from the Northeast originally, or have you?
Nope. My cousin was a Patriots fan when I was a kid, and I thought it was cool. So I became a Patriots fan. And then I got into basketball in middle school, and I loved Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. So then it all just carried over.
Okay, I have a friend who's a diehard Bucks fan who's from Louisiana because Ray Allen and then Michael Redd were his 2 favorite players growing up. So, yeah, makes sense to me. But no, I don't. I haven't read our chat because I've been super busy at work because I had my big, huge team meeting today where guess who I had as a guest speaker?
Who?
Oh, the person you told us about.
I see now who doesn't read the chats. Oh my god!
I know you said it.
You said it, but I don't remember.
Look at that! Oh my god! This is the best.
Called out live.
Patrick Young, 2014
go.
SEC Defense Player of the Year, SEC Network basketball host, was the guest speaker on my team meeting. I got to talk to him. He told stories about Billy Donovan. I got to ask him like who the hardest person to guard was, and he said it was Anthony Davis without a doubt. And then I felt real dumb because like I forgot that Anthony Davis is like that old, And I was like, yeah, 2010 to 2014 SEC basketball. Who was the best player to come through it? Definitely fucking Anthony Davis. Like that dude's like all time great. And he was just like, yeah.
Mikey's here.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Mikey.
I'll be honest. I don't mind the Celtics. It's weird why Boston kind of has this. I'm pretty open to every team aside from like college sports. Like, I don't have like a diehard affiliation to any one team. Like, I used to be a Buccaneers fan, and then they drafted Jameis Winston, and I was like, you know what? This team
can't do that.
Yeah, but I did not get back on the bandwagon when Tom Brady came back because I hated the Patriots and Tom Brady. So when he came to Tampa after them having Jameis Winston, I'm like, you know what? These are like my 2 least favorite players in the NFL. Like, I'm definitely not going to root for this team. But Tom, I like Tom now. Like Tom's pretty cool. Like the Patriots were just too good. But I like the Red Sox, and I'm okay with the Celtics, I guess. And
I don't pay attention to honestly any other sports as closely as I do like the NFL. Mm-hmm. So like I don't watch regular season NBA games usually. I don't watch regular season MLB games usually, but I always did like draw to the to the Celtics and like NBA 2K. That was
nice. Yeah,
that was my stuff in middle school.
I used to kind of like the Mavericks because NBA 2K, when you could play with Jason Kidd and Dirk Nowitzki, and like you could just ball out. Like I always like, and like the Colts, like playing them on Madden. Like I definitely have had that association too. But I mean, I had a buddy in college who he was from Florida. He was a Florida Gators fan, but he was also an Indianapolis Colts fan, a Duke basketball fan, and a Celtics NBA fan. And so we would give him shit relentlessly because we're like, this was like, the late 2000s. And so it's like, dude, you're literally rooting for every single like best team at the moment. Like, come on, you can't be a.
People like that. I'm like, how?
Yeah, like
that's like what I picked one area.
Yeah.
I feel like if you go to a college, you can't be like, okay, I'm going to be a fan of my college's football team, but somebody else's college's basketball team.
Yeah. Well, he was a Florida basketball fan first and foremost, but like everybody else I know roots against Duke basketball, like actively roots against them. And so him actively rooting for them, you're like, what? Like, this is not how this is supposed to operate.
You're not supposed to do this.
Yeah, like this is not cool, man.
This is not okay. No, I grew up in Dallas, so I've always been a Dallas sports fan, but there is a post from my Facebook from 2005, 2007 that basically said, I'm sitting at my grandparents' house and I'm watching football, but I don't know what the fuck's going on, is the gist of what it said. And I showed it to my mom and she's like, yeah, what the fuck happened to that? Sorry. Now we watch all the things.
If Boston wasn't playing, I'd be rooting for the Mavs.
We're pretty likable.
Yeah. I liked the Mavs when I was a kid. Not like that much, but like whenever they were in the finals and all that, I
remember exactly where I was in 2011 when they won the title. I was at a musical, and in the musical, they incorporated signs that had the score, and they would run it across the stage. And then it was like 2 minutes left in the show. Like the show's almost over, and they come across your Mavericks are 2011 NBA champions.
Oh
and
my god,
nice.
That's cool.
I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with my hands.
I love that.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I don't even think I really liked sports that much at that point.
Yeah,
but I was still really excited. But it's fine. Last super regional. The Aggies and Oregon. I don't know anything about Oregon. Not a bit. But it should be a fun uniform combo.
Yeah. RIP Pac-12.
Yep. I have to go with
Aggie.
so I think it'll be 3-1 or 2-1.
I will go Aggies.
I appreciate you. I see you.
Never been a big Oregon fan.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know very many people that are big Oregon fans. Honestly,
it's so unfortunate because there's just one person who's really, really into Oregon sports, but he just also happens to be worth like $50 billion.
Yeah,
that'll
do it.
I rooted for Oregon in that national championship game against Auburn because Auburn's running back Michael Dyer went to my rival high school.
Interesting.
That's some like deep shit.
So I was like, the rivalry was deep. And so I was like, all right, go Ducks.
My mom went to Newman Smith High School. And when she went to high school, R.L. Turner was the biggest rival of Newman Smith. Well, R.L. Turner had a media arts program at their high school. And I was like, I want to go to Turner because I want to go to the media arts program. My mom was like, absolutely the fuck not. She's like, you can go to Creekview because Creekview wasn't open when I was in school, so I don't fucking care. I'm sure not going to Turner. And I was like, okay, well, thanks. And I hated high school.
I wouldn't send my kids to my rival high school either.
I wouldn't let my kids. I know that's not true. I'd let my kids go to Texas. I just won't pay for it.
I would. I probably wouldn't have too much of a problem with my kids going to FSU or Georgia or any
You
rival.
so would.
I
You
would
so would.
hate it every time I'd have to go visit them. I'd be like, God damn. But I would pretend like I didn't have that. But until Sydney called me out on that, I felt like I was actually pulling that off.
No.
But no, I wasn't. Okay. But
No.
so FSU has like a campus like near us, and like if
Yeah.
if my kid went to college there or whatever, I would be like, okay, yeah.
It is closer.
You couldn't get into UF, like really? Like I paid for tutoring and like you still had to go to FSU, but after that I'd probably be supportive. But I would have to get that really
You'd have to get
traumatic,
over.
like I'd have to get that really traumatic, cutting, like insulting comment out of the way, and then turn back into a loving, caring father.
See, I'd be okay. See, if my kid gets into Texas, it's a good thing because Texas is really like competitive. But like, I can't let my kids go to Tech.
Oh God, no.
Can't do it.
The only person affiliated. Okay, I have 2 stories about Texas Tech now. So I worked with a guy who went to Texas Tech. Okay. And I was like, you are the first person in my life I've ever met who has been either a Texas Tech fan or student, alumni, whatever. And he's just like, yeah, it fucking sucks. And he literally was a Texas fan, would wear Texas apparel, rooted for Texas, even against Texas Tech, because he was like, it's just the worst. He's like, I would have went to any other school in Texas if I could have gotten into them. And he's like, it really is that simple. But he's a very successful person now, so it worked out for him.
Great comment by Mikey over here.
There you go. Like you would have to, like, it would kind of click in your head, and you'd be like, God, where did it all go wrong?
Something would have to go wrong for. Okay, if your kids end up going to Florida State, I'm sorry, no offense, but something would seriously have to go wrong for your kids to go to Florida State.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they've watched him crumble watching Florida athletics enough that maybe they're like, fuck this shit.
I mean,
that's true. That didn't stop me.
Yeah, my daughter definitely has a love-hate relationship with football. She mostly hates it and does not care about it really much at all. And aside from the fact, literally, she does this thing to where every time she comes out, whoever is leading, it could be the first quarter, it'll be 7-3, and she'll just be like, "Oh no, they're gonna win." And then I tell her, I'm like, well, no, there's still a lot of game left. You can't say that because now you're jinxing it, And then she's like, well, they have more points, and it's like, yeah, but there's a lot.
She's not wrong.
It's kind of irrefutable, right? Like you're like, yes, they do have more points, and she's like, they're going to win, and it's like, well, the game's not over for a long time, and she's like, well, if nothing else happens, then they would win. So why are you watching it? And I'm just like, damn, like, please. And then she was like, okay, I'm going to go play Minecraft, and then she's like, okay.
Okay. My dad literally roots for whoever's winning, no matter what. You are the worst.
Probably the biggest enemy of football and sports in general in my house is definitely my dog.
Okay.
When it's football season, she doesn't understand. Like, I'm normally a pretty quiet, calm. Like, I mean, maybe not calm, but just like I kind of just sit around, yeah. And so when I get exuberant during football and I'm like jumping and slapping my hands and doing all this stuff, she's just like, what in the hell is going on? Like, the big one is freaking out. Like, I have to go hide. Or like I'll be sitting on the couch and she'll like come and like check on me. I'm just like, it's okay. Like, it's not that serious. Okay,
it's all good.
And then you get excited too, and then they just get like freaked out because you're like, why are they freaking out?
Whenever A&M made the 3-pointer against Houston to tie it, I screamed so loud that the cats ran away. Like, no, not interested in that anymore. No, but seriously though, if my kids go to Texas, please check on me. Like, I might cry. My sister claims that she doesn't care about A&M athletics. That she doesn't care about sports. She went to A&M, graduated in May. And now we're watching baseball, and she's like, okay, Gavin's got a hit here because we got to win. I said, oh, look at you. Okay. She's like, I don't care. And I said, oh, you don't, but these guys. Okay. That their name was on the screen. I said it was on the screen for a 0.2 seconds. You know these guys by name. Don't play. You've watched enough games with me. You know these guys by name. It's fine. It's fine to admit that we're a little excited.
We care just a little bit.
Also, can we talk about was it a thing that A&M and Florida would be playing if we both win? Is that how that works?
I mean, it feels like destiny, right?
Let's do it.
Doesn't it feel preordained that if we both beat our opponent, we have to play each other, and then
Too bad she doesn't get to play.
That is content. When Texas A&M and Florida get to play each other, it's content. Yeah. Hey,
Mikey's
it is much like Holly's interpretation of football. I mean, that's a correct statement. I can't argue with it. It's simple but effective. But when Florida advances, if Texas A&M advances, then it'll be preordained that Florida and Texas A&M were supposed to play.
I am hurt.
I'm left out of the destiny.
I am hurt.
It took me a second to get there, but I got there. I turned it on its head.
And it took me a second to even put words together. Oh God.
All right, so we're all going Texas A&M.
I feel it.
Yeah.
All right, so call it now. Those are the 8 teams or think of the 8 teams you have advancing. Pick somebody you think it's gonna either. Who do you feel most confident about making the finals, and who you think is going to win right now?
I'm going to be a homer because I can. If the Aggies can turn their hitting back on, like the way we did in that last 2 games of that super regional or of the regional, we have a chance, and we can beat anybody. If the team that played LSU and Florida and that first game against Arkansas and those games against Ole Miss shows up, we fucked. We big time fucked. So that's all I got for you.
All right, Sydney, you're a little less biased. What do you think?
I think anyone has it, so it's really hard.
I don't think there's a clear winner right now.
Yeah.
That's fair. I feel like Tennessee is the best team that I've seen out of the games that I've watched. But
yeah,
if we're being realistic, yeah, I think if I were to pick a front runner at this exact moment, it would probably be Tennessee. But also, part of that's because they get to play the weakest team in the second round. They're basically guaranteed to make it to Omaha unless they really shit the bed. And on top of that, I mean, I think that they'll be pretty solid once they get there.
Fun if Evansville won though.
God, it'd be so sweet.
Not even because I don't like Tennessee. Like, there's no bad blood between me and Tennessee. Honestly, I think they're the real UT over Texas because Texas is TU. But Evansville's more fun.
I don't like Tennessee, but I'm ready for Tony Vitello to be my next head coach. So I'm going to go with Tennessee.
I like it. I can respect that decision-making tree.
So then we can hire national champion Tony Vitello when Dave retires.
I don't know if I'd get that far. I feel like they're still going to choke. I think that they're going to make. I think they have the best chance to make it to the finals.
I think they're going to choke. I don't know who's going to win.
I feel like there's going to be some chaotic moment. Like I feel like that team is it's always on the verge of some chaotic moment, completely derailing something. And I feel like if they were to make it that far, I feel like that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I think A&M could make it to the final.
I might cry a lot if we win a national title. Like,
any team I want to win is not going to win, so
I need a national title in something. Please, dear God.
Me too. I don't know if I'm ever going to get one.
You got track and field.
Oh yeah, they win all the time.
Texas thinks they're stealing sloth, and I think that's funny.
I feel like Texas and Oklahoma are going to be in for a bit of a rude awakening. Like
Texas is
when
going to
when
Huge.
when y'all are talking about baseball teams, one of the best things about the SEC and the sport and the teams in the South, I feel like the one common denominator we all have is that everybody's a Braves fan. And I feel like as you get out of the original SEC, you start to get. There you go. Oh
Me.
yeah. Yep.
Thanks, Mikey.
But I feel like as you get further away from the real SEC, sorry, I hate to pull the founding member card here, but of the real SEC, that's when you start to get these other fandoms pop in, not just college teams, but also like, you being a Dallas fan, like a Rangers fan.
Rangers.
Everybody in the geographic region that makes up the original SEC, we all got like TBS, and everybody just grew up watching the Braves. Just like if you grew up in Chicago, you would watch the White Sox on like WGN, and like watching Notre Dame on NBC. Like everybody in the geographic Southeast grew up with the Braves, and like I feel like that's the one funniest thing to me about as the SEC expands out. Like Texas and Oklahoma, I feel like A&M has kind of had a culture shock in the SEC. South Carolina and Arkansas have been in it for a while, and like Arkansas's done much better than South Carolina, but I feel like Oklahoma and Texas have fucking just dominated the Big 12, and I feel like they're going to come to the SEC, and it's going to be. And I think that they can both be very good teams, but the fan bases, how sensitive both of those fan bases are. The Bedlam Bowl being a 60 game advantage for Oklahoma, like, and the fact that Oklahoma State fans still give them hell. It's like I don't think Oklahoma fans are ready to have a bunch of hostile. Like it's not going to be a Baylor game, like when you go to LSU or Arkansas or A&M, like it's not Baylor, and you're going to do that every week. And I just cannot wait to see that happen in like every sport, like across the spectrum. It's going to be so like watching them kick out those BYU fans who had like the horns down shirts on.
Yeah.
I can't wait till you come to the Rowdy Reptiles, or like to see you playing Mississippi State with these stupid cowbells, or like going to like any of the stadiums, like baseball, basketball, whatever, football. I can't wait to see just the look on their fans' faces when it's like, oh, okay, this is what it's like when you actually have like 12 hard games and not like 4.
This is what, like, Texas fans already literally were tweeting, I'd rather lose to Louisiana than have to deal with A&M fans again. And I was like, wow, that's loser's mentality, my friend.
I saw a tweet today that's during the softball game, and I was like, Oklahoma fans are going to hate SEC fans.
They really are. Yeah.
I'm like, sorry, guys. Welcome to the SEC.
Yeah.
So also, some old ag was on the Facebook page because one of the Louisiana players did thumbs down, and they said, this is classless. And I said, honey, we make fun of Texas getting angry about horns down. I need you to shut up.
Yeah.
Like, I need you to stop.
It is what it is.
It's actually kind of funny because every time someone does that, it doesn't end well for them. Like it's a running trend now. So
I found the stats we were talking about earlier real quick.
Oh, goodness.
So maybe not the exact stats, but there has been one number 1 overall seed win the national title. Let's see. Yeah, and that was Miami in 1999. No other number 1 overall seed has that. That's not making it to Omaha. That's not that's actually winning it.
It's crazy.
There you go. Sorry, guys.
It'd be a little bit more than that.
There you go. You heard it here first. Tennessee's not winning.
Nope. No way. Tennessee's going to get bounced in the Super now.
Since 2004, 12 of the 18 national champions weren't nationally seeded including 6 champs who didn't even host regionals. So that's a pretty high number.
Yeah.
I'm pretty surprised to hear those numbers are actually that high.
I don't think Ole Miss was nationally seeded when they won.
They were a 3
Ole Miss was
seed.
the last team in.
Yeah.
That sounds like somebody I know.
Hey, you.
It's your year.
It's preordained. Oh my goodness. It is preordained, y'all.
Except Florida got in on a hope and a prayer. Ole Miss kind of.
I mean, and how dumb do all of the pundits look now?
I'm just saying.
We may have been the last team in, but clearly we were one of the best teams in the country. I'll say that unconfidently.
Unconfident.
We were a team in the country. I mean, that's just the fact. Yeah, we were one of the teams that's played in the country. So, I mean, we proved it. We proved that at a minimum, putting in a mediocre to shitty Florida team still is better than Oklahoma State.
I remember whenever we beat Auburn at Auburn, I think it was this past year, somebody tweeted, we're playing football at the best stadium in the country today. And I'm like, is that what you call what you did today? You played a sport at a stadium. I don't know if it was football, but you sure played something.
That's funny.
Like, I'm sorry, best stadium in the country, also questionable at best.
Highly
questionable at best. I've been there. It's not that great. They did not like us.
Oh, I got the yawns.
All I remember is like we were fine and they were talking to us and they were being nice. And then halfway through the third quarter, they didn't like us anymore.
At Auburn?
Like, y'all are winning and I don't like it. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
I was very hostile to Auburn fans 2 years ago. So
I can't picture you being hostile to anybody. I really can't. That face.
Catch me at Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. Or any stadium on the University of Arkansas's campus.
This is why I wanted you at the A&M Arkansas game last year.
I know.
But it's fine. I'm not bitter at all. She just didn't want to come see me. That's all it is.
Oh my God.
Texas is so big.
Yeah.
It's so hard to go anywhere in Texas. Like,
I know. I've got to plan a trip to Austin and I'm like, oh my God.
Like, you have to fly anywhere. Like, people fly from Houston to Dallas, and it's like, yeah, you have to because fucking 4 hours apart. It's like you can drive from where I live to Orlando in 4 hours, and it's. I can go to Disney World. You can go to fucking Houston. I can go to Disney World.
No one wants to go to Houston. It's an armpit. I drive to College Station on the regular, and that's 3.5.
Yeah, Fayetteville's 2.5, 3.
Yeah, that's about how far Gainesville is from.
We're driving to Corpus
I don't mind driving as long as I'm driving.
Yeah.
At the end of the summer, and that's I think 7, maybe 6.
To where?
To Corpus. And then
used to live in Corpus.
7 hours in your own state is crazy.
What? That's nothing.
No, that's crazy.
It's like 12 hours from like me to Miami.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's what is it from one point of Texas to the other? That's what I need to know. How long?
Like from
Shelbie,
Jonesboro, they're like this, but you have to go like this to get there, and it's like 5 hours. But I would never make that drive for anything.
Isn't there some fact that's like the northernmost point of Texas is like closer to like Montana than
you can expect
to like the Gulf of Mexico or something?
Something like that.
You can expect to drive across Texas in 12 hours from the Louisiana border to New Mexico. The longest drive is from El Paso to Texarkana, which is 12 to 15 hours, depending on traffic.
That's crazy.
So there's that.
Okay, Miami is 10.5. So Texas, everything's bigger in Texas.
It's true. Even our gas stations. There's so much that we're sharing them. Buc-ee's.
We're getting a Buc-ee's.
Every time Longhorns go visit Buc-ee's, I laugh because I'm like, y'all know an Aggie owns Buc-ee's, right? Like, y'all
Really?
for
Dang
that.
it.
See, I already don't shop at Walmart because I don't want to empower Arkansas.
Hey.
Empower our
Now I can't shop at Buc-ee's.
don't even empower themselves.
To
but-
be fair, I don't really shop at Walmart either.
Walmart has stepped their game up recently because they're trying to compete with Target.
I have been in there recently, and their clothes are kind of good. I just never go there for like groceries, and usually I don't go shopping for myself. So, but I'm a Kroger girl.
Oh, Mikey, we were having such a good time until you brought up Atlanta traffic.
Boyfriend will tell you that Dallas traffic is the worst thing he's ever seen in
I
his life.
hate Dallas traffic. Blech.
I've never had to deal with Dallas traffic. I have had to deal with Washington D.C. like Beltway traffic, and it was worse than Atlanta traffic. But
There
it
are
was
too many
also
different ways and
Yeah,
things going on and people. Nope.
I literally watched someone reverse on the highway a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, no.
I have driven in Chicago multiple times and never had any issues with the traffic, though. Surprisingly, for a city as big as Chicago.
They have
Maybe
good
I
public
just got
transportation,
lucky.
That's why.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I don't know.
Build the trains. Build the
Build the
trains. Build
trains.
the trains.
They're supposed to build a train that goes between Dallas and Houston.
Oh,
And I'm like, please do. A lot of my friends live in Houston.
I feel like there's sarcasm here. My sarcasm meter is being detected a little bit.
Oh no, I really want that train.
Oh, I was talking about Mikey's comment
Oh,
about Chicago drivers being courteous.
okay. I was like, no. I don't know. All right. So, do we have any other on-topic comments?
I don't think so.
Welcome to this is SEC
It's
bias.
Yappy Hour.
Yeah, this is we haven't talked to each other in a couple of months, so we had to record ourselves doing it and throw it in some sports ball.
Sports ball. Woo!
Sports ball.
That's what one of my kids, because I gave them like sports ball shaped stress balls as like a beginning of the year gift. And Brayley comes up to me and she goes, "You got any more sports balls?" And I lost it. And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Nothing, babe.
Sports ball.
No, I don't have any more. I'm sorry." Like, oh,
Bless it.
Lord. Bless this child's heart.
Well, maybe one of y'all's teams will make it to Omaha and we can talk.
We're talking either way.
It's gonna happen. Unless teams that we don't want to win end up making it, and
Then we can just come here and talk shit.
we have to wait till they lose.
No, I'll talk shit no matter what.
That's true.
Lucas
Even yeah, I follow the same thing. Speaking of talking shit, even when they lose, what's Matthew been up to?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. At Matt Sparks, where you at?
How many games into the season before Tennessee fans lose their off-season exuberance?
2.
Normally it happens, at least by the Florida game, guaranteed by the Bama game, for much of the past 20 years. So, I feel like Tennessee and Miami are perennially like off-season. Like these teams are going to make a huge jump. So I can't.
All I know about Miami football fans is that nobody actually comes to their games because when A&M played Miami, the Miami players were literally shook at how many people were in Kyle. Like they had never in their lives experienced.
Yeah, they don't have real fans.
They were like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, here we are." Let's see. So they played Chattanooga, NC State, Kent State, and then they go to Oklahoma, to Arkansas. They host Florida. They host Alabama. They host Kentucky. They host Mississippi State.
They
go
get 4 straight home games?
Yes. Then they host UTEP and they go to Vandy. Because, everybody's shaking in their boots going to Vandy. So.
See, ain't that some shit, though? Compare that schedule to our schedule.
Auburn starts with 5 straight home games.
Ain't that some shit? I want y'all to take a look at Florida's football schedule for the next 3 to 4 months and remind yourself how absurd what we have to go through as compared to everybody else. I'm going to cry about it.
We had to do it last year.
What year was it that A&M played 3 number 1 teams in the same year? That was the year that LSU won the title. So 2019? Yeah. That was fun. Not at all. Never again. It's
going to be some good football this year. Hope my team's not dog shit.
I really wish I was coming to go see A&M play Florida, but I can't afford it. So,
I'm not excited for football season.
Also, I don't want to die in the swamp.
Really?
So.
You can't wait to see the Sam Pittman, Bobby Petrino.
Okay, fine. I want to see Bobby Petrino.
I was about to say.
Yeah. We're gonna have the perfect transition.
They gotta do something to
from
really
Sam Pittman and Bobby Petrino coaching together right into a John Calipari first season at Arkansas.
Heck yeah. The Italian takeover. Right into Tony Vitello coming at some point.
Oh wow.
And then it'll be an Italian dream.
It all checks out.
It'll be for football, she's gonna be the meme of the little guy poking it with a stick. Do something.
Yeah.
Do something.
It is.
Hey, you, do something. That's how I felt watching the Stars the last couple of games. Hey, you, do something.
Yeah.
I got a notification today from ESPN right before we started. Because mind you, it ended in game 6. Right. Saturdays. And I got a notification today. It said Stars versus Oilers starts in 15 minutes. I said, no, the fuck it doesn't. Leave me alone.
Oh my God.
Leave me alone.
That's funny.
They all went home and shaved their playoff beards. Leave me alone. It's fine. I'm not bitter at all.
Right.
On that note. All right. So we will be back hopefully to talk more shit on the other side of Super Regionals and on the other side of my dental surgery on Friday. So
yeah.
Good luck.
Thanks and gig 'em.